It's Wednesday, and we're here to bring you all Pam's throat clears, coughs, nose clears, sniffles.
Right.
All your favorite things from Pam this week.
It's better in the summer. I mean, I don't have as much nasal shit going on.
Don't you just give us a throat clear right off the bat? There we go.
Ooh, that was a good one, too.
That was deep.
I might be good for a little. I felt that one right in my asshole. No, I should be all right.
Right off the bat. You
Sorry.
always work blue. Why can't you just...
Why does it matter?
Because what if...
You're over there burping and stuff.
What if... I was burping off mic.
So?
What if you're...
I swore off mic.
No, you didn't.
Okay.
What if somebody...
Valid.
Your family... I'm having spaghetti burps
Right.
all the time.
See? Okay.
Garlic bread burps.
We're bringing to you John's gastric problems.
What if somebody for the very first time is listening to this and like, I've heard a lot about this podcast. I want to hear what the hoopla is about. And within the first 10 seconds, you felt a throat clear right in your asshole. That's going to turn people off, I think. We're not that kind of show, Pam.
Okay.
No? You think that's what people want to hear?
I don't know.
I feel like people want to hear about assholes.
Well, then I've repeatedly told you, find other people.
I'm trying, but they won't come because they're worried about that they have to top
Quit
this.
Bitching.
They're like, I don't know if I can clear my throat and feel it in my butthole or not.
It takes
It makes people nervous.
Trust me.
I have more guests. It's just clunky and nice.
It was a joke.
Was that deep?
No.
Did you feel it?
No, I was just doing it to irritate you.
You're not bothering me. There's just tens of millions of people around the world that are listening to this that are like, God damn. And if you have bass in your car.
Well, maybe if we had a high-tech situation where I could, like, mute myself when I know it's coming.
Yeah, you can just turn your head instead of just doing it into the microphone.
You can still hear it when I do it over there.
I know. Off mic's better than the bassy.
Really? Do you do this to your other guests? I think not.
They're more professional. They don't fight with me. They're like, I'm trying to be very polite. I'm not clearing my throat into the microphone.
I'm already
turn
bored.
my head to...
I like that.
But what I was saying was, I actually have a bunch of guests, but trying to get it worked out to connect with people is a real challenge.
All right. Well, in the meantime, you get my crass swearing and throat clearing.
I'm not complaining.
I would like to take a vote on that. I'm pretty sure the entire first however minutes we're in
17
is you complaining. So yes, it's Wednesday.
Okay.
And I would like to bring something up.
Okay.
The last time you and I had a podcast on a Wednesday, at the end you made a prediction.
Mm-hmm.
That was bullshit.
What was my prediction?
That by the next Wednesday, President Trump would be declared the winner of the election. Dun, dun, dun. And he's not.
He hasn't been declared the loser yet.
That's not the same.
Yes, it is. Absolutely is.
What you said was he will be declared the winner. You did not say he will not be declared the loser.
All right. You are...
Oh, I know it's going to hurt.
You are...
Do you want me to hold your hand?
Not wrong. He has not been declared the winner yet. But here's what I feel. So if you're Trump, he's what, 72, 3, 4?
I think he's roughly around 70-15.
What?
He's fucking old.
Okay. I think he's 74. So if I'm Trump, this is my back against the wall. I'm not.
No, wait. I thought he was already 78.
No, I think he would be. Here, I'll ask Google. Hey, Google, how old is Donald Trump?
Wait, I thought you were talking about Biden. I'm sorry. Start over. Sorry.
Holy moly.
Sorry. All this time I thought you were talking about Biden. That's why I put a slam on age.
No,
I'm sorry. Start over.
All right.
Sorry.
What I was saying was, if I'm Trump, I'm 74 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And if I think that this election's fraudulent, how do you feel about it? I feel like you're not as...
No, I do feel like some shady shit went down. It probably should not be the outcome that it was, but nothing is going to be done about it. That's how jaded I am on everything right now.
Right. And this is what I'm saying. If I'm President Trump, okay, and say what you want about President Trump, I feel like he is... What's the words I want to use? This is what sucks about him, is I wanted to use the word principled, but I'm not sure if that's fits right. But if I'm Trump and through my entire life of business, I've saw tons and tons of fuckery that made me...
Seen.
What?
Go ahead.
What'd you just say?
That you've seen lots of fuckery?
Okay. I've seen lots of fuckery.
Mm-hmm.
And we are talking about President Trump still, okay?
Right.
So, okay. I've seen lots of fuckery in my life. And it makes me want to run for president. Because I don't know that I buy the thing that everybody said that it was like an ego thing for him to be the president just because that's like the end of the fucking food chain.
Right.
So I feel like he's like, oh, shit, this is fucked up. Because when you go back and listen to all the things he talked about through his life, this is one of the things that is kind of neat about this day and age, is going back a good 30 years anyways, there's a pretty good video/audio record of most people.
Yeah, and he at one point said it had to have been like around the 80s, maybe early 90s. He was like, I've never thought about running for the president, but if my country needed me to, I will.
And he said a lot of the same stuff that he says today. Mm-hmm. The America first and that kind of stuff. So I don't feel like it was the ego stroke that everybody... I'm sure it strokes his ego. Don't get me wrong. There's no way... I don't care who you are. This is what I love about people. People complain about Donald Trump being president, and he's just doing it for his ego. And then they go on and you watch their social media, the very same people who are president of the fucking cookie club and go on social media like it's, they're curing fucking third world illness and hunger. And you're like, you are stroking your own ego. Like, it's weird. It's impossible not to. Like, once you achieve any position, it doesn't suck emotionally at the start. Feels pretty good that you achieve some level. Mm-hmm. So I don't feel like he did this as an ego stroke. I feel like it was like there's a lot of fucked up shit going on, and maybe this is the song and dance they sold us, and I bought in. Mm-hmm. But at this point, he's 74 years old. He would have to be 78 for the next election if he just is like, yep, Biden won, I'll catch it on the flip-flop here. If I'm Trump, I'm still president for another 40 days or whatever it is. 50 days. I'm not fucking going out like that. Especially if he thinks they did him wrong. Fuck you. I'm fucking burning this motherfucker down on my way out.
Because you think?
Because it needs burnt down if it's that corrupt.
Well, maybe, yeah.
Because that's the way I'd look at it. It's like, if you fuckers are completely rigging these elections and making everything against me, then I'm not just going to let this go.
Yeah.
If my whole thing was, I'm here to drain the swamp and get rid of the corruption, and massive amounts of corruption is what led to me losing this election, I'm not letting this go. I will run this motherfucker right into the ground. And
well, but not to the detriment of the American people.
Do you realize it's already the detriment of the American people? Your
Yeah, I
vote
know,
didn't mean dick.
Well, I know.
You just participated in a
I
fucking
meant like
too much
he's not going to do
charade.
something harmful to the American people on his way out.
Like what?
I don't know. I'm just saying, like, you're making it look like he's going to go out and freaking shoot everybody or something.
Well, he's not. I don't think he's going to go like
Rambo
school
style.
shooter.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying. It seems like we're progressing down all these different avenues, and what's curious to me is, from what I've seen, and who knows, a lot of the stuff that I've read and reports that have come out is there's a fair amount of fuckery. And there's no answer to any of it. This is what kills me about it. Is if like, all right, here's just the simplest one in the world. Do you remember on election night in Georgia where all the fuckeries happened and everybody's contesting? They said there was a huge water line break and people couldn't go vote at some place downtown. All right, so
what does a water break have to do with voting?
That shut down a whole area or a building or something. And they couldn't let people in to vote at this voting center. Well, it comes to find out like a toilet overflowed in the morning or something. And there's no water line break. There's some weird fuckery there that nobody has adequately explained yet. Do you know, follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you start with something so easy to explain as a water line break that was actually a toilet overflowing. And there's no explanation for it. Like, I've been actually looking for it because I kind of always side on there's probably a reasonable explanation for this.
Somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. And there's nothing here. It's just the media went with it. They shut down polling places. People didn't go there because they said they couldn't or something.
So why would they want people not to go to a polling thing? So that they could fake their vote?
It's something.
Well, did they give them an alternate place to vote?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh,
Nobody explains any of this now. Like, nobody comes on TV on either side and they're like, look, there was a report of a water line break there because I heard it all night long. Because remember we were watching all the different channels?
Yeah, but I don't remember
and
that
I kept
part.
saying, well, that's the weirdest thing in the world. Like, if there's a water line break, it's not like people have to go there and make Kool-Aid and they need water. And the water's shut off. They're just going there to vote and leaving. Like, what?
Like, you would almost think it would have had to have been like a flooding situation.
Like, the whole place was flooded out.
Yeah.
There's too many crazy, corny things like that.
I mean, in our little voting area, if there was a toilet overflowed, it'd probably be a problem.
I don't think it'd be a big deal.
No, I'm just being a smart ass.
But there's just so many little things. I don't know. So anyways, here's what I'm thinking. I feel like you have two problems right now.
Only two?
Yes, two big ones. You have a massive amount of corruption. And you can slice it however you'd like. It's just people trying to get rich. It's people trying to, turn things into more of a socialist situation. There's people that are owned by China. Whichever one of those narratives or all of them that you'd like to embrace for the purposes of this thought here. So there's that on one side. Because there's clearly some, like the report that came out the other day about the Michigan voter thing. And did you read that thing I posted? Which
thing you posted?
The forensic
investigation.
That it was like they basically just did one county, and they went there and they checked the machines and they did all the stuff, and the standard accepted amount of error when you're running votes through these machines is like 0.008% or something like that. And they had 68% error rate. Mm-hmm. And you're like, what? And then that just gets swept away. Like,
well, that's what I keep saying.
So anyways, this is what I was going to say. So you have a massive amount of corruption. For whatever reason, the corruption happens. And then you have this other thing where good people are probably too scared to stand up and make a stand. So right now, if you are worried, and especially if you've been in the cogs of this political system for a while, you know that these people just keep doing what they do. And if you stand up, the machine will eat you. So I have a feeling that it would be really hard for Trump to get people to stand up and be like, there's fuckery here, for fear that it wouldn't work. Biden gets in anyways, and then these people get it,
out of a job at the easiest.
At the very least, if not criminal charges or worse. So people are like, I feel like that's the Supreme Court's thing on it. Like, we're not even going to look at this evidence. We're just not dealing with it. We're just going to dismiss this case and kick it down the road to somebody else. So I don't know. I don't know what happens. The amount of corruption and bullshit is just beyond. It's beyond. The hypocrisy of shit is beyond. All these politicians telling you to shut everything down. And then they're out, or their businesses are getting loans, or their businesses are still open. I can't. Or their travel bans, and then they travel to other states or countries for things. And you're just like, what in the fuck? And people just take it. I'm fucking tired of taking it.
So, new to any listeners is our school system's been plugging along all this time, keeping the kids in school. And then, bam, Monday, see you later. Everyone sent home. We're going online till January. So upsetting.
So, and what's even more annoying. So, I'm just going to go on record and say the core group of people that this is sort of centered around that tested positive for COVID, I don't fault. It wasn't their choice to get COVID. They didn't come up with all these stupid COVID rules of, 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon if you fucking get tested positive. So they could have made some better choices as far as what they did publicly. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. It's not really their fault they got it. It's not their fault they didn't make these stupid fucking rules. So I feel like there's a lot of misplaced anger at these people that there shouldn't be. Universally. Not just these specific people, but I'm just talking universally. Because they're just people trying to live their lives. But I said something tonight. I wish I remember the exact same thing. We were watching something on the news, and you're like, what? And I can't remember. It was something about logic. I can't remember what I said, but I was like, that's pretty smart. I'm going to use that again. But I can't even remember what it was.
Oh, shit. I hate it when that happens.
You're
getting something really good for your arsenal, and then you forget what it was.
I know, right? It was something like, in 2020, you can't put logic in and expect to get logic back. Like, it just isn't happening this year. Like, so the person who tested positive for COVID, their daughter is in our kid's grade. This is some of what caused the school to shut down. And they pulled their kid out of school Monday before last. And then, so the kids weren't in school all last week. All the other kids were mingling and doing kids things all week. And then they finally got their COVID test results back, I think on Sunday or Monday. They call the school and they're like, hey, we have COVID, or I have COVID. And then the school does this weird thing with all the kids in the class. Like, that person sat near that person. And so basically we're shutting everything down. And I was like, so we had to go down and pick up Piper. I got there pretty close to 1 o'clock in the afternoon. They only go till 2:45, somewhere in that zone. They've been around each other for a fucking week. I could understand if it was my kid that just popped for COVID. Like, we need to get this kid out of here. But they're around somebody that was around somebody that has COVID. And the kids usually aren't transmitters nor really get that sick from it. And they've been around each other for 5 solid days. But I have to go with my kid because God forbid she's here for another 2 hours around the same people she already was, with them all wearing masks and social distancing and whatever. That I don't think they're social distancing. Kids, anyways.
Yeah,
it's impossible.
Pretty hard at recess. And
I'm just standing there, and then I'm standing there like, oh yeah, school's going to be closed and go online tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just
so why'd I have to come and get her?
What in the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it's the most illogical.
Everything is a stab in the dark to try to mitigate the mitigation efforts.
It's so dumb. So fucking dumb. And on the flip side of all this, I do talk to a couple people that work in hospitals, and they said they are really busy with sick people and, they're COVID people. Mm-hmm. I also know people that are pharmacists who have sold like no Theraflu this year. Mm-hmm. Did you hear this? There was a news story, and so I asked, and they're like, yep.
I've heard many
0.
Podcast type things where medical people have said, on the bright side, there's not been one single case of influenza A or B or pneumonia this year.
Just can't do it anymore.
Well, no, wait. Can't that be statistically impossible?
It's because everybody's wearing a mask.
Oh, which 100% I would agree that will drastically reduce the numbers. But completely eliminate them?
So why isn't it stopping COVID?
Well, because it's a different strain or whatever. I don't know.
I would assume they would say COVID's
it's more aggressive.
Way more communicable.
Right. I don't know.
It's so ridiculous.
We have to have something to talk about other than politics and COVID. Do we? We probably don't.
Isn't that what this podcast is about?
No. Christmas.
Do you want to talk about how all the businesses are shut down and nobody can afford Christmas? You know what kills me is people don't understand something about businesses right now. So even the ones who aren't mandated to shut down. So like take my business. I don't even know if anybody even understands exactly what the fuck I do. So I started out, I had a repair shop, and your truck was broke and I'd fix it, or I'd make it faster, bigger, better, whatever. And then through the years here, we got tongue tied there. Through the years, we were doing everything. So we were selling parts online, we were selling parts from the retail, and then we were doing shop stuff. And through the years, the online part sales is basically my best
revenue stream.
Gross revenue versus net revenue versus how many people it takes to do it. You know what I mean? So I can do a lot of online business with a very small amount of people, where I can only do a limited amount of repair shop work because you're just limited by space and people, and that's tough. Yeah, it's really tough. You could have a 4-bay shop, you need 4 mechanics, and you can still only get through 8 hours of work a day, no matter what. No, if you had the best mechanics in the world, they're making money and killing it. But online, I can sell unlimited amount of products and basically, up to a limit, keep the same amount of people. Where that doesn't work in the shop. So in the shop's a lot of struggle. So I decided to mostly just do sales. And so basically what I do is some products we ship out directly from our location, but most of what we ship out, I have tens and tens of distributors and different companies that we buy from. So basically you would go to our website, maybe you would buy an exhaust system or something like that. And exhaust systems are heavy to ship. They weigh 80, 90 pounds. So it doesn't make a ton of sense unless I'm buying a tractor trailer load of them to ship it to me and then ship it back out, because it probably costs $100 to ship it. So I have all these distributors all over the country. We're talking dozens and dozens and dozens of warehouses. And if you live in California, I probably have a warehouse in California that I can ship it out of. It cuts down on...
Which took you years to curate.
Yeah, definitely. But it, you know, instead of it shipping from Pennsylvania to California and costing $100
and taking forever,
it ships from California to California and it costs $30 or something. So, ooh, that one slipped out.
that one came from your asshole. I could hear it.
Bread. So, anyways, and that's mostly what I do now. And every once in a while, we'll happen across something that we see that nobody's making in the market, and I'll sort of engineer it a little bit and figure out somebody to make it for us, and then it's our own product. So we have a few of those, but for the most part, that's what we do. And this year has been the biggest clusterfuck I've never seen. I mean, it's insanity because everywhere shut down. So your distributor shut down, your manufacturer shut down. Anything that came from overseas.
In some situations, you can trace it all the way back to just simply raw materials cannot be obtained to manufacture and then distribute and then.
So here's what I was going to say. Let me think.
So what started this whole trip down memory lane of how LPS got started was you said what some people don't understand about businesses.
Well, I'm just here. Just let me get. I'm writing something down for everyone here.
Oh, it's not a secret note.
Mm-mm. Okay, so 2 weeks ago, and this is what people. Are you leaving? Oh, what people don't realize is last week I had a customer call up. Good customer. Orders a whole bunch of shit. They're basically rebuilding a truck, and they built or ordered all these parts, pretty much to completely redo a motor. And, oops, sorry, I'm trying to put something in here.
Put something in where?
My calculator.
Oh.
So anyways...
You need a calculator? What a dummy.
It was a bunch of parts. And I shipped stuff from, I think, 6 different warehouses. So we shipped, 7. So we shipped stuff from me and then 6 other warehouses to the same address in Florida. Only 2 of the packages got there. The right address.
Awesome.
Everything just went sideways. So sorry, I'm doing some quick math here. So the packages, the guy calls, he's like, I got one of the things, but I didn't get anything else. So I pull the trackings up and I'm like, it says it was delivered and this is over Thanksgiving.
Porch pirate.
And he's like, I have cameras here at my shop. Like, it definitely, UPS never came. And so I open UPS claims with 5, because basically I can't open the...
Which, let's face facts, is a painful
it's brutal
situation.
So I opened 5 different UPS claims with 5 different warehouses, because they have to actually do it, because they were the actual shipper, not me. So we opened 5 different UPS claims, and they're going to track down where it went and hopefully get it to the guy. In the meantime, oh shit, my number's off because I forgot about something. In the meantime, the guy calls me up, and one of the packages was still out. It was a turbo, and I'm like, that's going to be delivered today. But these other ones, he's like, I'm in a time crunch. I got to get this truck done. So I next day him the stuff from the first shipments that were missing. He does get those, but the turbo never shows up, the one that was supposed to be delivered that day. He catches the UPS guy, can't find it anywhere. It's chaos. So not only am I out all the original stuff I sent him, but now I have to pay to ship him the second thing. Okay? And it is a freaking nightmare. And UPS cases can take anywhere from 2 to 7 weeks to resolve. And then hopefully I will get refunded for the shit that I bought to send to this guy.
Never.
And then The other day, local company ordered a turbo from me for one of their trucks. I put the order in like normal. It's usually a day away. It doesn't ship from the place, so I call him up. And he's like, I'm sorry, we're having trouble getting parts to build turbos. Well, I'll have one ready for you by the end.
Because COVID.
Right.
Like, how tired are you of hearing,
Every day.
because COVID.
Everything I call, like, especially intricate things like that.
The whole world, yes.
So I call him, and he's like, I'll get you one done, ship it by the end of the week. So I'm like, all right, cool. So that was the end of last week. So I'm checking the tracking every day because they're bugging me for it because they have a truck down, which I understand. And I finally look on Friday. It still hasn't shipped yet. Like, there's a tracking made, but it hasn't shipped. So I call the place. I'm like, hey, buddy, what's going on? And he's like, I'm so sorry. The warehouse shut down for inventory yesterday and today. They won't be back open till Monday.
Get out.
So it ships Monday. Lands yesterday. I open it up when it comes, kind of give it a half-ass look over, throw it in my truck, drop it off on my way home last night. They call me this morning, and they say, hey, they sent me a picture first, hey, UPS must have dropped this somewhere along the way. Now, I didn't notice where the box was smashed anywhere, but they said there was a spot, so maybe. But they sent me a picture, and it looks like somebody actually just dropped it, and they broke one side of the turbo. And, of course, I didn't drop it. Like, the UPS guy set it on the counter. I set it in my truck, took it to the people. It's all, like, wrapped. And they called me this morning. So now I have a dilemma.
Oh.
So I send the pictures to the turbo place, and they're like, well, everything that goes into a box gets a picture taken of it before it goes in, because that's the only way we can beat UPS claims, because they'll say we didn't do that. He goes, so I know it wasn't dropped here before it went in the box. Mm-hmm. He says, but either way, if you send it back, we'll give you credit for it. So I have to buy another turbo to send
Cool.
to replace that.
Because they're really cheap. It's like $10, $15.
$1,000.
Mm-hmm.
So I buy another turbo to get today or tomorrow, and then I'll send the other one back and I'll probably get credited. And the point of this long-winded fucking story is, when I say it's hard on businesses, so just in last week and this week, I've racked up $5,000 in parts that I shouldn't have to pay for. Mm-hmm. But because of COVID fuckery through the shipping and everything else, and, sometimes this stuff just happens. But people are like, well, you're selling a lot of parts, $5,000. And what you don't realize is most parts places like me work on somewhere in the neighborhood of a 15 to 20% profit margin. So for that $5,000 worth of parts, I'm going to have to sell $50,000 to $60,000 of more parts to be able to pay to float this for however many weeks. Mm-hmm. And people don't understand that. Like, do you follow what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, in order for me to have $5,000 to put up for these parts, I have to sell another,
of just money at your disposal.
I have to sell another $50,000 to $60,000 of other parts.
I know, but
and not take any of that money.
It doesn't matter. People look at businesses as...
And I can't even imagine being in a restaurant dealing with this same shit. It's like, and no money coming in. You know what I mean? The thing that makes the math work on this is there's money coming in, albeit sporadically and weirdly right now. Mm-hmm. But if I was a restaurant and I'm like, oh, I'm shutting down, and I just bought food and I have a light bill, and I can't imagine.
I know.
I would probably at this point be like, fuck you, I'm staying open.
Well, thank God we got the vaccine.
You gonna take that?
No.
I'm not saying I would never take it.
Right. I'm not doing it right now.
No. I'm thinking this is like a next December type of thing.
Yeah, maybe. Which, fortunately, we're in the very last category to get it anyway. But I'll tell you what, if
White?
I was pregnant...
Because we're white?
No. We're healthy.
That was the other one I didn't understand.
We're healthy and white. No, I'm just...
I saw on the news the other day, they're like, we need to make sure
race.
black and brown people get this first. I'm like, why?
Well, yeah, in a way I understand somewhat of the premise of what they were saying, but I wouldn't be doing it if I was pregnant. I wouldn't be doing it if I was allergic to anything. Much less, like, vaccine shit. But just, no. I'm just not ready for that right now.
I just kind of want to give it a little time.
I also don't
Seems
want to
kinda
get
quick.
sick, which I've said from the start of this whole thing, but...
Are you really worried about it, though?
Yeah, I worry about it.
But do
I
you
worry
worry
about-
about it like... See, this is what drives me crazy is... Do you worry about it like you worry about getting cancer?
No.
Because to me, this seems exponentially way less worse than getting cancer.
Yeah.
So cancer is
I guess
really...
it depends on where you're at in your life.
Well, either way, I'm just saying, like, cancer seems brutal. This, for most people, is uncomfortable for a few days, to be honest. You know, it's kind of
It just depends.
a really bad flu. And if you're really old, then it's a lot more like cancer. You know, where
Yeah.
they really can't fix it.
Although there are a lot of otherwise generally healthy people that are just freaking destroyed by it. So I don't know. I don't want it. I know that. But I also don't want the vaccine for it right now.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy.
So what else you got?
One of the things that came out today that's really frustrating is, did you see all the mega churches got huge PPP loans?
The only one I saw was Olstein's.
He got $4.4 million.
Yeah, I know, because he's really roughing it.
And there's a part of me that says, all right, well, he probably has a lot of staff in his giant or
Probably.
stadium-sized church.
Well, wouldn't that be the only reason why he somehow did?
Yes.
Is based on employee numbers.
Right. That's the only way you really get PPP.
Yeah.
So that means...
But it just seems like, oh my God, come on.
Well, here's the problem. He's not a business. He's a church.
Oh, that's true.
So they don't pay taxes.
Right.
So...
Well, but if he still has... So if you're only talking PPP, it's paycheck protection. So he has paychecks he has to pay out. So
It doesn't matter. He's a church.
what
That's
do you
what I'm saying. He doesn't pay income taxes on the money that they bring in. And I guess, I don't know if you've ever seen pictures of his house. Not doing too bad.
I know, but either way, he still has paychecks to cover.
I see what you're saying.
And nobody can come to his business suddenly.
I see what you're saying. But also something doesn't feel right about it.
Yes. 100% agreed.
Because it's not like I've seen the Joel Osteen fund to support the other closed businesses.
No.
Or
No, in fact, when they
anything of the
asked
sort.
if they could use his,
during the hurricane,
yeah.
his church. Mm-hmm. Yes? You going to finish that thought? Or
Well, you finished it
just,
for me.
No, I finished the word you were looking for.
During the hurricanes or whatever, they asked if they could use his facility as a place to house displaced people that lost their homes or whatever. He had said no.
Isn't that kind of what a church is for?
Well, he
I mean,
said
at the
no.
end of the day. I don't know. It's all frustrating.
Yeah.
Very frustrating.
But we also don't know what it's like to try to run a company like that, but it just seems not, it doesn't ring right.
Doesn't pass the sniff test, as they say.
Yeah.
The sniff test. Yeah, so I've got a few guests lined up. And one of the weird things about doing the podcast is it is kind of weird to do it at the kitchen table here and have people come over and your dogs are running around, your kids are running around, and it's a little clunky.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm doing a little remodel at my shop, and I'm pretty pumped because I think I'm going to put a podcast room in up there.
Okay.
And then I'll have like a nice little studio people can come to all hours of the day. and it's all closed in, and it's not weird to have somebody in your house that you really don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Because that is kind of weird.
We've never had anybody we don't know.
Well, I mean, it's just, I don't know, kind of clunky. But maybe I can just do more phone ones or something. I don't know.
You should, do a poll or something. Because you've only had one phoner, right?
No, I had a couple. Actually, I had 3 or 4.
Oh, that's right, Ryan.
Mm-hmm. Do a poll about what?
Whether people prefer in-person or phoners.
People never respond to polls.
Oh.
It just hurts my feelings. So you put a poll out there and you're like, hey, what do you think about this? And like one person, it's your mom. You're like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Gives their opinion. But, So we're almost a week away from Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And I found you what could possibly be the worst secondhand Christmas gift today.
That link you sent me?
Yeah.
The fuck?
So
That's so gross. Like, I couldn't even look at it, and just what I could see was...
Wait, let me see if I can find the link.
Well, you can still look at the thing you sent me, probably.
No, I was going to try and see if I can find, like, the product for sale.
Well, you can basically read everything on that.
Oh, here we go. I found...
I don't even want to... And you're talking to me about going blue?
All right, kids, if you're listening, time to turn this off. So some lady on one of the...
local,
well, I don't even know what you would call those.
Marketplace.
Yeah, Marketplace, yeah. I was going to say Wanted or Classifieds, but
Ew.
Those are a different day. She posts that she bought this device because she had to take a urine test. And she was going to use this to basically trick and cheat on the urine test. But as it turns out, she didn't have to use...
Yeah, right.
That's what I was thinking, for the urine test. And now she wants to sell it. And what it is it's called Cupid. And the website I'm on is Sexy Showers. It's SEXXIS. Well, SEXXII.
Showers.
Showers.com. And from what I can tell, let's see if there's a better description here. Oh, no.
Oh, my God. Why are...
Wait. So basically what it is it's some like fake pee bladder or something. So you put pee in it, and basically what it's for is if you want to give somebody a golden shower, you can use this. But it doesn't... Oh, they're selling it as a test fooler. Oh my God. It has 100% 5-star reviews.
Out of the 3 people that have rated it?
5.
Okay.
One Miss Summer Van Tassel has rated this 5 stars.
I'm shocked.
Has rated it as fantastic. With a little practice, you can go in front of someone when they are watching, and they won't even notice. The next one says it's awesome. I swear by this product. It is the solution to everything.
Like, what exactly is it a solution to?
Well, I mean, if you had to...
Popping hot on a drug test.
Yeah, must be you put, somebody else's piss in there. I'm not sure
right, but
exactly what you do with the little device.
Beyond that, what exactly... How many problems you have in your life that...
Well, I saw
fake pee is gonna...
I saw something on one of the descriptions that people who are into people peeing on them. This way you can always be ready to, satisfy your partner with some pee.
The human race has issues.
This review is my favorite so far. Jennifer Hart
Mm-hmm.
She says, shocked. Headline. I ordered this I ordered this product for a private party I had this weekend, and it worked perfectly. Would recommend again and again. So, what kind of fucking private party are you going to? They're going to way different parties than we go to.
Thankfully.
All right. And then the last review is one Miss Bella. It worked. I bought this product because I needed to make peeing in front of someone believable. My own pee would not do. It had to be...
Why?
Don't put me on trial here. Just reading the review. It had to be clean pee since I was so ... dehydrated. Anyway, it worked perfectly. They did not suspect a thing. I would suggest wearing a pad because of the little leaking, but... Oh. Alright. I would suggest wearing a pad because of a little leaking, but also if you have a pad with some blood on it as well, it will really help you sell the period story. Also, if you have to practice... Also, you have to practice, since pulling off the cap with the tampon is different than pulling off the cap without it. I would suggest buying more flow restrictors with your order. It's worth the money to practice with them so you'll be able to be a pro while having an audience. I made the mistake of not buying extra flow restrictor. It's the best to have them on deck. Anyway, I hope this helps. So,
okay.
This raised a few questions. So, when you get a drug test at work, like somebody actually comes in and watches you pee? Because I've never
You're
had
asking
one.
me? I've never had one in my entire life.
Me either. Like I used to do like the CDL ones, but you just go in the bathroom and pee, and it's not a huge deal.
Well, I'm assuming that was back in the 60s.
I'm not that old. What the fuck? All right, let's pump the fucking brakes at. What in the fuck kind of job do you have if your job is to go in and watch people pee to make sure they're not cheating? I would quit like tomorrow. Like, nope, not fucking doing this.
Nurses and stuff, like they're used to that shit.
It's the weirdest thing in the world.
It feels like there's some kind of a privacy violation there. But
it sounds like
whatever.
You just basically take that and just shove it right up on in there.
I don't know.
And then just...
I'm not about to find out.
You know what's going to happen, though? These are my favorite kinds of things to talk about on the podcast. Because at
Someone's
some point...
going to have the answer. Chris Lactash is going to have the answer.
He'll have studied this.
Yeah.
He'll have heard of it before.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody will come up and be like, oh, dude, yeah, people at our work do this all the time. Or something.
Yeah.
Like, they'll have some... They'll have some knowledge that is just normal to them that seems completely...
Right. That we're like, wait, what?
You do what?
Yeah.
You put a little bladder inside you?
I guess maybe because we never have been. Also, I don't do drugs.
Well, I was just going to say, like...
But, I mean...
I've never had to, like, take somebody else's pee in anywhere for fear of...
But I also feel like some of those reviews were talking about, like, performances?
Like sexual type things? Yeah.
But, like... What makes it that hard just to muster up a little pee?
Do you know there's somebody listening to the podcast? What? Wait, whoa. Time out. What?
What?
Wait, what'd you just say?
I said it can't be that hard just to muster up a little pee and have at her. Like, why you have to have something fake up in there for, like, a performance, for, like, golden showers or something.
Really?
What do you mean?
I don't know. I've never even considered... That's kind of gross to start with, but...
I know.
There's probably somebody here that's listening to this that's sitting in... I don't want to say shame, but maybe a little. They're like, I kind of like that.
You're a fucking weirdo.
On either side of it.
Well, maybe, but... I don't understand, but whatever. Carry on.
I'm not...
I don't care. As long as I don't have to see it or be involved in it, I don't care.
All we're saying is if you need a little help, the Cupid.
John has the product for you.
Or that girl in Portville. She has a secondhand one. She's willing to. She paid $110 for it. Willing to let it go for $50. Which was my favorite part. And then my favorite part also is that she explained that she bought it to beat a piss test with her name on it. So, like, hopefully she still doesn't have that job, or she's out of prison now, or whatever. People are so fucking weird.
Well, and then speaking of marketplace stuff, people sell the dumbest stuff. Like, here's this used squishy. $1. Like, no holds.
Right. What? Cash only.
Yeah. Like, what?
People do seem to sell.
Here's this phone case, $5. Like, now you have to answer questions. You have to go meet somebody. You have to, like, you know what I mean? Like, is that really worth $5?
Maybe to somebody. I mean, I guess what I'm saying is, like, if you're, like, super broke and you're just...
How are you going to get...
Well, what I'm saying is, like, let's just say you're super broke.
I guess.
And you don't, like, this is a perfect year for it.
I guess.
You're laid off or whatever, and you have Christmas coming, and you're just looking around like, what kind of shit can I sell that I don't need?
I guess.
So you just put a whole bunch of shit on the table, and you take a picture of it, and if you can get $100 by selling
well, but that's what I'm saying. Like, is it's not like, you know, selling this a lot of children's clothes or whatever. It's like just like seriously this used phone case.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, you don't click on and look at what else they're selling. Maybe they're selling 30 things like that.
Maybe.
And if they sell half of them, they get $100.
Maybe.
And then they have enough money to buy, you know, dinner or Christmas or.
It's true.
Or Cupid fakes
more
pee thing.
Around here, most likely the latter.
So, yeah, I don't know. Whatever. It does seem...
But sometimes strange things kind of come across there, like...
People sell the weirdest used shit. Like, phone cases are something that I can see where...
Open box of cereal.
Just most random shit.
$2.50.
Or like, I've seen people sell underwear and stuff before.
Ew.
And you're like, really, dude? But maybe somebody buys it. I don't know. And clothes...
Creeps by it.
Clothes are kind of a weird one for me.
That depends if you know the person.
Well, I kind of feel like if...
So you would never do like a Goodwill?
It feels like that's a little bit different.
But it's not.
It's not. But what I'm saying is, like, if it's a... Like, I see people or women selling their dress all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They bought a fancy dress for a reason, and they're never going to wear it again. Maybe somebody else can. And the next person can buy it cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
Seems okay. A shirt that somebody's had for 10 years and wore 100 times seems like a weird thing to buy from them. Like, it just seems like you should throw it away. Like, you know what I'm saying?
How wasteful, John.
Or a pair of pants. Like, I got some jeans. Got some new jeans. I donated these to Goodwill, and then maybe there's somebody that's happy to get them. I don't know.
Of course.
I don't know. Just seems weird. Seems really...
Underwear and bras, yeah. It's weird.
Well, bras don't seem as weird.
Kinda.
But, yeah, they're still...
Not as bad as underwear, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Socks, also? No. Shoes? No.
That shoes is a weird one. I see shoes and boots for sale all the time. And
if they were, like, never worn or worn once. Okay. Like, but if you go to Goodwill and there's shoes there, it's like...
Well, I bought these shoes and they didn't fit. Okay.
Right.
They're brand new. But I bought these shoes and you look at them and you can clearly see they're worn. Mm-hmm. Like, they started to conform to that person's feet.
Ew.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just weird.
Yeah. But who are we to judge in this day and age of people trying to get money?
True. People trying to get paid.
We're jerks.
It's a weird thing that right now you have to break the law to do your job. Like, it's the weirdest thing in the world. Like if you're a restaurant or a hair salon or a gym, like you're literally, well, I guess there's not a law yet, but whatever the mandate is or whatever.
Or you don't do your job or can't do you agree to not do your job so you don't hurt someone. Is very frustrating.
It does set up like a conundrum of morality.
Yes.
Because you instantly get people. I just feel like we're approaching the age of fuck off. Like when people are just going to finally have enough and that's going to be your standard. Like we're going to go through this Karen customer service age and this Black Lives Matter fucking Me Too age of uber sensitivity to everybody's rights, which some of that is warranted, but most of it, I wouldn't say most. I would say a good portion. That's most. That's a different way to say
some?
Most. A portion of it is just stupid people fucking ranting and raving about nothing. So I feel like there's some validity in acknowledging some of it. But I also feel like we're moving to the ultimate age of go fuck yourself. I'm not putting up with this anymore. Like, you're not going to tell me that I have to shut down my fucking gym, when we clean
to the governor, you mean?
Yeah, or just regular people.
Yeah.
To the quote-unquote Karens of the world that come in and bitch about shit. Get the fuck out of here. Like, people are so scared that if they tell people to go fuck off, that they won't, they lose their customers or whatever. And at some point, yes, if you're a fucking asshole to your customers, you're going to lose customers. But if you're an asshole to asshole customers, you're probably doing yourself a favor.
Did you just say asshole to asshole?
Right. It's like two of those dogs that get stuck together.
Oh, yeah.
How does that even happen? I haven't seen that happen since I was a kid. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, wait. What do you mean?
So, I don't know how this happens, and I've only ever seen it twice in my life. What the fuck are you doing?
Sorry, it was a magnet.
Jesus Christ. Perfect. Followed up with a throat clear.
Well, you make me nervous.
Is that what happens when you get nervous? You clear your throat?
No, it just happens. Now I'm getting cold.
So when I was a kid, I saw this 2 different times. Somehow dogs, I don't know exactly how this happens, but they back into each other and their buttholes would like vacuum lock against each other.
The fuck
and
up.
They couldn't get away.
What are you, stupid?
I saw it with my own eyes.
Stop it.
Twice.
Come on.
All right, let's Google it.
No.
Hey.
Come on. They don't even have butt cheeks. Like, what would cause a vacuum?
That's what the problem is. They don't have butt cheeks. So they're just asshole to asshole.
Then why
it's like
wouldn't...
sticking 2 suction cups
Why wouldn't,
together.
like, their tail get stuck to their...
Because their tail goes up.
Oh, my God.
Hey, Google.
Am I really having this conversation?
Can dogs get stuck together butthole to butthole?
Come on.
Oh wait, this is something else.
Imagine that.
But I don't feel like it.
I feel like you were seeing a picture of like Siamese.
It was in real life.
Twin dogs or something.
Because we're like, oh,
they were joined at the butthole.
Can dogs?
By the way, the word butthole is never not funny.
Get stuck together. Yes. Why do dogs? This is a thing.
Stop it. With as much as your 2 dogs are all over each other, you're telling me it's like a magnetic attraction?
Okay.
Come on. Oh my God.
So, they're saying okay. So basically,
Please tell me it's not what you thought.
well,
I told you.
it's not exactly what I thought. but I am correct in what I saw. My eyes did not fail me. So what it just said was when it has to be a male and female dog. And when they mate, there's some, I think it's one of their glands. Hang on one second.
I'm on pins and needles over here. Can't wait.
A few times, enter the vagina.
What?
Okay. So 2 things happen. So when dogs hump, the penis gets a bulb on the end of it that like swells up. So their pink pencil gets a big fat eraser at the end of it. And then the dog's vagina swells. And what can happen is while they're banging, and it turns out from what I was reading there, most dogs are like 2-pump chumps. This doesn't go on for very long.
I know Apple would be a 2-pump chump for sure.
And what happens is it looks like their buttholes get stuck together. But what really happens is the dog's member gets stuck in the female. And it says it's impossible to separate them for a few minutes till both things relax. And what happens is it's completely possible for the male dog to turn and swing his leg over the female, and then he's stuck, like his dick's stuck backwards, and it looks like they're stuck butt to butt.
Wow.
But they're not.
Okay.
I would dare say they're stuck P to P. Penis to pussy.
I figured out your little code there.
So that's what's actually happening. And it says you can't separate them until they just, like, whatever it is relaxes. It's some weird phenomena to make sure that, like, the sperm gets in there or something. Dude, could you imagine if that happened to people?
That would be there would be dicks getting ripped off left and right.
It'd be a weird thing.
Yeah.
Especially if it happened the first time you ever had sex.
Yeah.
And then you'd be like, oh no.
Traumatized for life.
I'm stuck to this person forever. But that's what it is. And I've always wondered about that. And now we know why dogs' buttholes can get stuck together. It's a fucking David Blaine trick. We think we know what's happening because our eyes are telling us. We think he's trapped in ice,
but he's really not.
David Blaine?
Yeah.
He actually does most of that shit.
I know.
He's a weirdo.
I can't stay awake long enough to go down that path.
All right, so you want to wrap this up?
Sure. He is very interesting, though. There's a lot that can be said about him. Oh. So we didn't really have a point tonight. I'm sorry about that.
Well, podcasts don't have to have a point.
That's true. Sorry anyway.